True, 1974. Dad poisoned son. Candyman watches you. Watch now. The cursed breath of candy. Halloween's true nightmare. We're diving into the most spine-chilling true story of Halloween. In 1974, in Texas, a father poisoned his own son. But this is more than just a murder. A dark entity, a cursed piece of candy, and a neighborhood gripped by fear. This tale might leave you trembling in your bed. Like the video, subscribe, or that candy might show up at your door. Let's begin. October 31, 1974, Pasadena, a suburb of Houston. The night was cold, the air damp, and the streets buzzed with the joy of Halloween. 8-year-old Timothy O'Brien, dressed as a cowboy, was trick-or-treating with his 10-year-old sister Elizabeth and neighborhood kids. Ronald, Jarrett, and Elise. Timothy's eyes sparkled, his candy bucket swinging in his hand. His father, Ronald Clark O'Brien, 30, a deacon at church, seemed like a calm family man on the outside. But inside, a dark storm brewed. $100,000 in debt, joblessness, and desperation. That night, Ronald had a plan. He had filled 4 giant Pixie Sticks packets with stolen potassium cyanide. The poison was potent enough to kill in seconds, flooding the lungs with fluid, melting the veins. His goal, to collect $40,000 from his children's life insurance. He gave one to Timothy and planned to distribute the others to the neighborhood kids. But fate spared the others. When they returned home, Timothy began eating his candy. Ronald, with a smile, said, "Eat this special one, son," handing him a Pixie Sticks. Timothy mixed the powder with a wet apple and took a bite. He immediately sensed something wrong, a metallic, bitter taste, as if it burned his tongue. Minutes later, he began vomiting. His eyes rolled back and foam poured from his mouth. His family rushed him to the hospital, but Timothy took his last breath on the way. His final words were a muffled groan. "Dad, poison." At the hospital, the news of his death arrived. The autopsy revealed how the cyanide had ravaged Timothy's organs. But that night, strange things happened around the house. Neighbors claimed to see a shadow at the windows, a tall, crooked silhouette, spewing white smoke from its mouth. Was it Timothy's spirit, or something darker? That moment marked the beginning of a curse in the neighborhood. The police, led by Pasadena detective Harold Nassif, launched an investigation. It was a cold, foggy night. Nassif recalled, a search of the house uncovered the other poisoned Pixie Sticks. O'Brien claimed, "A stranger gave them to me," but his lies unraveled. Evidence showed he'd visited a chemical shop, attempting to steal cyanide. His plan was meticulous, but he had no conscience. Yet the strange events continued. Neighbors reported flickering lights in the house and pumpkins moving on their own. One witness said, "I heard Timothy's voice crying." A strange smell seeped from the house's walls. Rotten candy, a haunting reminder of Timothy's final moments. Was this a sign of a curse? In court, O'Brien sat with vacant eyes as if something had taken over his mind. Urban legends exploded. Stories of poisoned candy, razors, drugs were mostly myths, but this case ignited real fear. Parents began sniffing and inspecting their children's candy. Halloween lost its innocence. In 1975, the court found O'Brien guilty. He earned the nickname Candyman. On March 31, 1984, he was executed by lethal injection at Huntsville Prison. His last words, "I can't sleep thinking about that night." Guards noticed a strange smell in his cell, rotten candy, like Timothy's final breath. Was it a sign? Yes, the curse was growing. After the execution, the neighborhood saw more disturbances. Every Halloween, streetlights flickered, and pumpkins were found filled with black powder. In 2010, a teenager vanished. His body was found a week later, his mouth stuffed with pixie sticks powder, but the packets were empty. The police searched for a killer, but there were no leads. Locals whispered, "Timothy's spirit is back." A dark entity had taken hold of the neighborhood. Timothy's grave still stands in Houston, visited every October 31. Some claim to see a shadow at the gravesite or hear whispers. Is this the curse's endless cycle? In 2025, the story lives on. 50 years later, the legend grows. Vice and ABC call him the man who killed Halloween. Paranormal investigators recorded voices in the house, a moan saying, "Poison. Is this a spirit's vengeance? How does this affect you?" Your childhood memories are tainted. When your doorbell rings, you might smell that metallic odor. At night, if you see a shadow in your room, check your window. Is it Timothy's spirit or the Candyman's curse? It might be waiting for you. Think of Timothy's final moments, choking on vomit, seeing his father's smile. That was the end of innocence. Was O'Brien's mind filled with a cursed force? Police reports noted strange traces in the house. Candy powder with no source. Neighbors found pixie sticks at their doors at night, empty but reeking of blood. The 2010 missing teen's story is even darker. His body was found, his mouth stuffed with powder, his throat clogged, but no one could explain how. Paranoid neighbors reported seeing a shadow in the house's basement. Was this Timothy's revenge, or the curse's new victim? This story lies at the heart of fear, betrayal, the loss of innocence. You might see Timothy's face in every child at your door. At night, you might taste that metallic flavor in your mouth. Check your window. The Candyman's curse might be waiting for you. Like, comment, is this real? Subscribe for more terror. Good night, and be careful.